Okay, welcome back to my class. So today we are going to start a new chapter, that is rural development. So today we'll try to discuss the meaning of rural development and challenges or key issues of rural development. So let us see, you are knowing that how much percentage of the total population of our country living into the rural areas. Do you know how many population of our country living into the rural areas? So 3/4 of the total population are living into the rural areas. So only 1/4 of the total population are living into the urban areas. So if someone asks that how much population are depending for their livelihood on the agriculture and into the rural areas, so certainly let us see 2/3 of the total population of our country depends directly or indirectly on agriculture for their livelihood. So you are knowing, let us see that about 22% of the total population of our country are below the poverty line. But if you will see that how much percentage of the total population of our country are below the poverty line in rural areas, so about 30% of the total population of our country in rural areas, they are living below the poverty line. So certainly let us see that some attentions are to be given, special policies are to be launched in order to eradicate the poverty from the rural areas, as well as for the development of the rural areas and to improve the quality of life of the people living into the rural areas. So let us see what is the meaning of the rural development. So rural development is the process of improving the quality of life and economic well-being of the people living in the rural areas. Rural development is a comprehensive term. It attempts to improve all aspects of rural areas. So rural development is a comprehensive term, and let us see it attempts to improve all aspects of rural areas. So question arises that what are the different challenges or key issues of the rural development. So certainly let us see, there are certain challenges, there are certain issues which are related to the rural development. So here I have written some of the areas which are challenging and need fresh initiative for development in rural area include. So let us see, there are certain issues, there are certain challenges, they need fresh initiatives in order to bring the improvement into the rural development, in order to improve the quality of the life of the people of the rural areas. The first and most important challenging issues into the rural area is the development of human resources. So development of human resources, this is the first and most important issues, challenges into the rural areas, and it includes focus on, so human resources, as you are knowing, human resources are important inputs for the production of goods and services, and that is why let us see the development of human resources, the human capital or the development of human resources are given more and more emphasis, so that let us see these resources can be used extensively into the production process. So this it includes this development of human resources. It includes literacy, more specifically female literacy, education and skill development. So literacy. So literacy, more specifically the literacy of women. So literacy of our country, if you see the literacy of the urban area, literacy of the rural areas, then 86% is the literacy into the urban areas, whereas if you see the literacy of the rural India, then 71% is the literacy of the rural areas. It means 29% of the rural people are not in a position to read and write and understand any languages. So it means they cannot read, they cannot write, and they cannot understand at least one languages. And that is why let us see, it is very, very important that we must put emphasis, we must give focus on the literacy of our country, especially the women literacy. If you see the literacy of women in rural areas, then 65% of the women are literate. They can read and write. But let us see, 35% of the women in our country are not literate. And that is why let us see that special attentions are to be given on the female literacy, and we must give attention to the education and skill development. Then let us see this education and skill development is given priority in our country if we want to achieve the rapid growth and development, especially into the rural area. If we want to improve the quality of life of the people living into the rural areas, then we have to educate the population of our country, especially the women of our country. And the second, let us see, aspect of the development of the human resources is the health, and health addressing both sanitation and public health. So we must give priority to the sanitation. Sanitation includes the toilet facilities into the houses. It includes, let us see, drainage facilities. It includes, let us see, the dumping of garbages. So these facilities and are to be, let us see, the drinking water facilities, nutritional facilities, these type of facilities, these facilities are to be provided to the population of our country. Then, and apart from this, let us see, public health facilities. Public health facilities are to be provided to each and every citizens. Each and every panchayat should have one public health center. Each and every panchayat should have the qualified doctors and nurses so that they can provide the health services, so that the population of our country, so that the people of our country can stay healthy and physically fit, and they can contribute and work hard for the development of our country. And the second aspect or the second key issues related to the rural development is land reform. Land reform are required for improvement in agricultural productivity. So land reform was introduced in our country just after independence, so that the improvement in the agricultural productivity, or that there must be the improvement in the agricultural productivity. But what happened, let us see, this implementation of land reforms are not adequate in our country, and that is why, let us see, fresh initiatives are to be taken in order to improve the land reform system, in order to abolish the jamidari system. Still in our country, the jamidari system, landlord systems are existing in some part of our country, and that is to be abolished. Apart from this, the Land Ceiling Act are to be implemented properly in our country. Consolidation of land holdings are to be implemented properly, so that, let us see, the production and the productivity of agriculture increases rapidly in our country. If agricultural production will increase, then only the quality of the life of the people of the rural India can be improved. The third aspect related to the rural development is the development of infrastructure. Let us see, infrastructure provide facilities for the development of production of goods and distribution of goods and services. So infrastructure, let us see, it may be the social infrastructure, it may be, let us see, economic infrastructure. Different types of the infrastructures are there, and they are helping directly or indirectly to the production and distribution of goods and services. So let us see, these infrastructures are to be, let us see, developed, and the government should take the initiatives, fresh initiatives to, let us see, provide this infrastructure, to develop this infrastructure. And the first one is electricity. Each and every houses, each and every, let us see, each and every villages should have the proper electricity facilities. Each and every houses should have 24 hours electricity facilities. And another one is, let us see, irrigation facilities. Each and every farmers, each and every the land should have the irrigation facilities. If you want to improve the production, if you want to increase the production, if you want to improve the condition of the life of the people living into the rural areas, then we must provide the irrigation facilities to each and every farmers of our country. Then credit facilities, let us see, that formal credit facilities, let us say, institutional credit facilities are to be provided at low rate of interest. Let us say, there must not have any demand of the collateral by the banks, and let us see, this farmers must get the loan facilities, the way of getting the loan should be very simple and easy. Then only, let us say, the condition of the rural people can be improved. And here, marketing facilities, marketing, when the goods are produced, let us see, then it should be sold into the market, and the farmers must get the adequate prices of their produce. Generally, what happens when the farmers produces the goods, that time, let us see, the prices comes down. And when the prices comes down, then the farmers, they are, let us see, they are bound to sell their produce at low prices, and sometimes they go into the losses. So that is why, let us see, government should provide to purchase their produce at the government administered prices, the government prices, which the government has announced. Another infrastructure is the transportation, construction of village roads and feeder roads to nearby highways. So government must construct the village road, let us say, all weather roads should be constructed into the rural areas, and the rural areas should be linked. The road of the rural areas are to be linked with the highways, so that the farmers can sell their produce easily to the marketplaces. They can sell their produce to the wholesale market. So these facilities, transport facilities, apart from these facilities, facilities for agricultural research and extension. So facilities, research and research facilities, agricultural research facilities, agricultural training facilities. Each and every farmers are to be given training that how to use the seeds, how to use the fertilizers, how to test the soil. So different types of the trainings are to be imparted to the farmers related to the irrigation, related to the use of fertilizers, related to the use of the quality of the seeds. So this knowledge are to be given to the farmers, and information dissemination, that farmers, they must get they must use the information technology. They must, let us see, if they are educated, then certainly, let us see, they will start using the internet, YouTube, and they can watch the videos, they can understand that how they can increase the agricultural production. So it is very challenging, we can say, issues to our rural development, that we must develop this infrastructure. Another issues are the poverty alleviation, special measures for alleviation of poverty. Special measures are taken, although our country has already implemented several programs for the rural development, several programs for the wage creation of the wage creation to the people of the rural areas, but that programs are further given focus to the rural people, and let us say, each and every houses who are below the poverty line, they should come under that policy. Suppose the Mahatma Gandhi National Rural Employment Guarantee Act is there in our country. That is very good policy. That is very good, we can say, the employment generation, wage generation program of the government. But that is to be implemented, and that should be covered in each and every villages of our country. So let us see, apart from this, government should take special measures to eradicate the poverty of the weaker section of our country, especially the scheduled castes, scheduled tribes, and the OBCs and the minority communities. Those who are living, even those who are living below the poverty line, even they are below they belongs to the upper caste, they must get the facilities of the government policies. And certainly, let us say, the government will take special measures to eradicate the poverty into the rural areas. Then certainly, let us say, it will help to improve the life of the people living into the rural areas. The last point I have taken is the development of the productive resources of each locality to generate employment. So government should identify the productive activities. Productive activities we can classify in two categories. One is, let us see, farm productive activities. Another one is the non-farm productive activities. Government should identify that which village, which area, which panchayat is a specialist for or adequate for the farming and which panchayat and which village is good for the non-farming. So according to their, let us see, this productive activities, the policies are to be implemented. If suppose if any area having the water facilities all over the year, then there, let us see, fishing can be developed, the fisheries are to be developed, the farmers are to be given training. So fishing is to be created in that area. If any area, let us say, is good for the forest and logging, the forestry are to be developed. So let us see this productive activities are to be identified, and let us see that policies are to be implemented so that the maximum people can get the employment. So I have written here this farm and non-farm. So productive activities are to be identified into farm and non-farm. Farming activity consists of agriculture or crop production, then plantation, animal husbandry, fishing, or forestry and logging. Also, we can say this non-farm, this agricultural processing industries, handicraft industries, shopkeeping, transportation, dairy farming. So these type of these productive activities are to be identified and is to be promoted. Then only we can generate more and more employment, and then only we can solve the challenges, we can solve the problems faced by the rural development in our country. So once again, let us see what is the meaning of rural development. Rural development is the process of improving the quality of life and economic well-being of the people living in the rural areas. Rural development is a comprehensive term. It attempts to improve all aspects of rural areas, and different challenges or key issues of the rural development are development of human resources. Human resource, I told you, our population is the human resources, and human resources are the inputs, very, very important inputs for the production of goods and services. And we must put focus on literacy and female literacy, especially education and skill development. We must focus on the promotion of health, especially we must address the sanitation and public health. We must, let us see, implement the land reform properly in our country, and we must develop the infrastructure, because infrastructure provide inputs or facilities for the production of goods and distribution of goods and services. And special measures are to be taken in our country to reduce the poverty of the weaker section of our country, and development, identification of the development of productive resources of each locality to generate the employment. I think this concept is clear to all of you. Thank you.